So apparently today is International Women's Day and I'm a woman. So I just wanted to talk about women. What's up guys? This is Joy Wisdom and just wanted to talk about a little bit of my history and who I am as a person, and I think being a woman is very important to me. I wouldn't consider myself a super feminist, but I do stand for certain things and certain laws when it comes to women. So let's just start off that I had a pretty rough childhood and I was born with a crazy ass birth defect. And I remember growing up, I was always self aware about, not being normal like all the other girls, all these other things. I was born with spina bifida. If you don't know what spina bifida is, it's a birth defect that it affects your whole nervous system. Most of the time, if you're born with spina bifida, you end up in a wheelchair. Fortunately, I didn't end up in a wheelchair. I grew up with a walker, a cane. I looked like Forrest Gump with those leg braces from the waist down. I had that too when I was about like 6 years old to correct the way I walked. You can research spina bifida. It's a long list of problems as you grow older. The one thing that really helped me as a person and to be who I am right now is my strength and my parents, my mom. I always said, Mom, why am I not normal? Mom, why do I walk like this? Mom, why can't I wear normal shoes? Because I was never able to wear just, heels or like, I remember when I was little, I wanted to wear ballerina shoes so bad. I remember I wanted to be a ballerina and wear tutus and look all cute. And my mom said, No, you can't be a ballerina because your feet don't go a certain way. You can't move a certain way. You can't tiptoe. You can't do certain things that normal little girls can do. Even though I wasn't able to do certain type of things, I found alternatives growing up. So if it wasn't A, it was either B, C, D, E, F, G, or F, or until I got it right. I always grew up with strength mentally and emotionally, knowing that I couldn't do certain things, but it never stopped me from doing what I always wanted to do. And I don't know, I just don't really talk about it or think about it. Uh, like how I grew up, I just knew that I wasn't the same. And I remember growing up that I didn't accept myself for who I was because I wanted to be like someone else and I wanted to compare myself to other people and I always wanted to feel accepted. And I think that um, I didn't have many friends is because I didn't accept myself first. I feel like if I would have accepted my myself first and the way I looked and the way I walked, then it would have been easier to make more friends and do the things that I've always wanted to do. But I never thought like that. I always thought that I couldn't do things. That was in my brain. I was like, I can't do this. I can't run. I can't jump. I can't, because everything is always revolved around my birth defect. Also, I wasn't allowed to go on roller coasters because of my head, because of pressure that would go to my head. But, I was pretty rebellious. And I decided one day when I was like 14 years old, when I was with my cousin, I was like, we're going to go to the youth fair. I'm going to get on that roller coaster. And once I figured out that nothing happened to me, I kept going on roller coasters and it wasn't the same after that. Anyway, so let's talk about women that have influenced me to be the person that I am right now. I mean, growing up, it was mostly music, so I don't think there was a woman that influenced me. But let's just say women that I've always admired has been Alicia Keys. Alicia Keys is someone that I've always admired. I loved her music. I listened to all her music, and she was very powerful. Also knowing that she was, mixed, and I remember that she always had to dress a certain way to get certain type of fame. And I don't know, I love art, I love creativity, and I love music and film and all this stuff. And I've always enjoyed her creativity as a person. Let's see, another woman is Jennifer Aniston. I've always admired Jennifer Aniston. I think she's like my favorite actress next to J Lo. I think J Lo is a great actress. Maybe you think otherwise, but I think these are two powerful women that have always done what they've wanted, and they're very successful at it. So I think that's very cool. Now I'm gonna lean towards like the comedians because it actually makes me who I am as a person. I'm very influenced by Chelsea Handler. And yes, you might think that she's a little crazy. And yes, she's crazy. But I feel like when you have your little bit of crazy, you become successful. I think Chelsea Handler is hysterical. She's very blunt and she does what she wants. And I love that about her. She's amazing. I've seen all her shows. I want to see her live one day. But I think she's amazing. I think her shows are amazing. Yeah, she's very funny and she has no filter. But I think that her TV shows where she just teaches you about everything and is funny about it, I think that's the most amazing thing you could ever do. Teach someone something, but be funny about it. That's great, and I love it. And Chelsea Handler has done so much, and I can relate with her in so many ways. One of my other favorite people is Ellen DeGeneres. I've always been an Ellen fan ever since I could remember, ever since she came out with her TV show. I've always watched it. Now at this moment, I don't really watch it because I don't have time. I'm usually at work or at school, but I watch certain episodes on YouTube. Ellen is amazing. She's done so much, and I'm so happy for her that she won the humanitarian award from Obama. And it's amazing. She's done so much. She's helped so many people, and she promotes everyone in a great way. Everything is so positive. She doesn't talk bad about people. She embraces everyone who they are. It doesn't matter what race you are. And she's just different. She's one of a kind. I think she's a person that I want to be like because you learn so much from her, to be a great person, be positive. She's such a hard worker and she's gone through so many obstacles in her life, and it's just, I really love her as a person, her personality. I don't know her personally, but that's her show is a show where I'd like to go one day, and I'd actually want to meet her one day and ask her all these questions. Ellen is amazing, and I'm just so happy that she actually won a freaking medal from the president. She's already a legend, so that's what I think about her. And she is who she is, and she doesn't stop herself. It's awesome. Another person is Jessica Kirson. Jessica Kirson is another comedian. She's from New York. I actually saw her live, I think a year ago, and I've always admired her. I always saw her on YouTube or on Facebook, her Facebook fan page. You can look her up. She's really funny. She grew up, her mom being a psychologist, so she always had a crazy house, and she's really funny. She always makes fun of herself, and that's the thing that I love about people in general, making fun of yourself. Because when you can make fun of yourself, then nobody can really make fun of you. And if you know your flaws, you're good. You know who you are. You embrace your flaws, and that's it. Another person that I really admire is Amy Schumer. I'm pretty sure you know who Amy Schumer is. I read her latest book. I think that was her new book, but her new book was really really good, and you actually find out about her past and the way she grew up and stuff like that. She talks about her weight and stuff like that, and it is who she is as a person, and how being famous, everybody wants to be this skinny chick, or everybody's pressured to be the skinny bitch. But she embraces her weight and who she is as a person, and I think that's amazing. I'm so tired of women comparing themselves to other people, other women in general. I think we should embrace who we are. I think with me, the difference between me and other girls, women, is that I embrace who I am. I know I have so many flaws. It took me a very long time to accept myself as a person, and to be 29 years old. Growing up, I was always bullied, for having a minimal limp, and I used to be, called names and all this other bullshit. I know what it feels to not be accepted by other children, other teenagers, other adults, whatever. I know not to be that type of way with other people. I accept everyone for who they are. Nobody's perfect. You can't judge people for who they are, and as long as I see that the person's trying, they know who they are, and they're doing what they love, and it's all that matters, honestly. I love people with passion, and I'll say that all day, every day. I love people with passion, and I always help my friends to do what they want to do and try to motivate them, because I'd want my friends to motivate me doing what I do, which is film. I love film, and if I can surround myself with my friends and do film and do things that makes each other happy, then why not? I just live this life to make people smile, help people do what they want to do and what makes them happy. And growing up, I always thought, what's my purpose? And maybe at this point, sometimes I think about it too. What's my purpose? And I feel like my purpose now is to just help. That's just my thing, to help the ones around me to find what they like to do and what they want to do in their life, and help them do what makes them happy. There's nothing wrong with doing what you like to do. Yeah, we have to be an adult and pay bills and all this shit, but I feel like, never stop being a child. Never stop, doing what you like to do. Life shouldn't be taken so seriously. And, back to being a woman, never, as a woman, I tell this to all the women, never, be disrespected. Never let anyone disrespect you. Don't never let anyone tell you you can't do something, because, if you have the motivation and the determination to do it, you can do it. And never let, it's sad to say, being a Latina, never let another man tell you what to do, because there's still that issue, and that people try to stop you with things. Everything's changing now with this generation. I mean, I got married when I was really young, when I was 20 years old, and I thought that was the right thing to do back then. And obviously I have a different perspective of marriage now. Going back to that young Joey, I thought that was the right thing to do. And, not that I'm saying that I regret it, but I wish I would have done things differently, because you would have never known what I would be doing right now. But I mean, right now at this moment, I'm doing everything, that makes me happy, and career wise. And I feel like film is taking me to a place where, it goes back to my heart and what I like to do. Art is my thing, and it always has been art. And blame my father. I actually told my dad, I blame you for making me like film this much, because he was the one that took me to Blockbuster. He was the one that had a big ass VHS camera, camcorder, big ass like 90s one. It was purple, this big, and he would always like film me and my brother. And then the one time that he wouldn't film me, I'd get really mad. Blame my father for being a film student. Being a woman, it's hard sometimes, because you get stereotyped, especially being a Latina. Back then when I was younger, I thought that the right thing as a Latina was getting married and having kids, and that's all you do, because I saw my mom do it. Being married didn't work out. I figured out that it just wasn't for me. The guy wasn't for me. The lifestyle wasn't for me. I was a military wife for a couple years, and it just wasn't for me. Things just went downhill, and it was hard for me. The craziest breakup ever in my life. I was brokenhearted. It was just like the worst thing that could ever happen. But it made me for who I am as a person, and I appreciate that had to happen to me, like, because I have a different perspective, and I don't feel like marriage is the important thing as a Latina anymore. I feel like doing what I love is important. Focusing on myself. It's okay helping other people, doing what they want to do, but at the end of the day, I gotta help myself and my happiness, and my mental state, and everything that I have to do as a person. Thank you for watching. Happy Woman Day. You wouldn't be here if it wasn't for a woman. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting me. I've been on YouTube for more than 10 years. It's crazy. And if you want to go back to my younger days, go there. They're there. And they're not going to be erased. And they're going to be memories. And hopefully I become a legend. They're like, hey, that's Joey. Go watch her videos on YouTube. I live this life to make people smile, and to be there for people. At least I try to. This world is a mad world. I get it. It drives me nuts too. People drive me nuts all the time. I have good intentions. It's just very hard to express that sometimes. But, I do as much as I can. But, keep being happy. Keep eating them cookies. Keep going to Disney. Keep petting puppies. Because that's what makes me happy, So, thank you for watching. And on to the next video. Bye, guys. It's a revolution.